Happy Saturday. I was shooting some content and I figured, you know what? Let me just go live real quick. Let me go live. I've gotten a lot of emails this week for different issues regarding things that clients are going over. And so I kind of wanted to do a quick live this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy weekend on some common business mistakes. Okay, so I cannot touch my screen or my whole live freezes. If you do think you've made a mistake or if you have a question regarding business mistakes, I guess you can just put it in the comments. But let's go over some common business mistakes so we can either not make them, or if we've made them, we can just fix them real quick, okay? So first common mistake will be not understanding that all the money you make is not your money, okay? When we leave from 9 to 5 world to being an entrepreneur, we think, ooh, all this money is our money. And a lot of times, you know, the money comes in, we don't realize it's going out faster than it's coming in, and we may have forgotten about our silent business partner, the I, the R, and the S. We don't plan sometimes for equipment to break. We don't plan sometimes for either a delay in inventory, which may stop our cash flow. We sometimes don't plan for maybe personal issues that we have. Our car breaks down, the AC goes out. So when you are running a business, you always want to try to have some kind of reserve for when something happens, we have something to cover, okay? So mistake number one is just thinking that all the money coming in is yours. And a great thing to do to manage the cash flow is, you know, I always say have 4 business bank accounts. One going to be for your income. All your income will go there. 2 will be for your expenses. You'll pay all your expenses out this account. The 3rd will be for your payroll, and then 4th for tax and savings. So no matter how much money you make, it's not all going to be yours. Something is going to happen in business. We have payroll. I have never met an employee, you know, who's going to work for free. I have yet to meet an employee who will say, hey, don't worry about paying me on Friday. Just, you know, just give me when you can. So you want to make sure that we have enough cash flow to cover our business expenses. Another common business mistake is going to be the S-corp. There are so many videos and things on social media regarding an S-corp, and S-corp this and S-corp that. And yes, an S-corp is a great tax election if you make it and you can afford to make it, okay? Normally, the benefits of being an S-corp don't outweigh the taxes of being an LLC regarding tax as an LLC until you get about $60,000 or $80,000. So business entity wise, you can either form an LLC or you can form a corporation. You cannot form an S-corp, okay? So an S-corp is not a business entity. Either you're going to be an LLC or you're going to be a corporation. An LLC, in the eyes of the IRS, they're going to tax you as a sole proprietor, okay? If there's 2 members of an LLC, they're going to tax you as a partnership. Okay, so what you are business entity wise and how you're being taxed at the IRS are 2 separate things. Okay, if you are a single member LLC, you're going to file your LLC income and expenses all on one tax return, your personal tax return called a 1040. Now, what's going to happen is LLCs do pay a self-employment tax, okay? It's going to be a 15.3% tax on whatever are the profits of the business. Now, an S-corp does not pay a self-employment tax. However, an S-corp, one is going to file their own separate tax return. So the S-corp, the LLC being taxed as an S-corp will file a business tax return. It's going to be an S-corp return, but it's going to be Form 1120S. On average, a business tax return, depending on the complexity, is going to run you between $750 and $2,000. Okay, so we have that expense. Then the biggest thing as an S-corp owner has to be on payroll. So every 2 weeks, you have to be, getting a paycheck with payroll taxes being taken out, given to the IRS. Depending on how your cash flow is with your business and where you are, you may not be able to afford that, okay? The benefit of not paying the 15.3% tax but being on payroll and filing another return, that benefit doesn't come until your business is making between, I would say, $60,000 and $80,000 in profit. Okay, so if you're a brand new startup, we don't have a dime in the bank, we don't need to have an S-corp election. We're not benefiting from the S-corp election. See, there are a lot of different things and tools and entities that businesses and people can do, and it's great to do them if you need them. If I am a single person and I have no kids and I don't do any kind of recreational sports like golf or surfing or anything that needs a trunk, do I need, a Sprinter van to drive around town? If it's just me, I probably don't. If I was maybe a mom of 5, if I had like 4 or 5 kids, or maybe I was an avid skier or golfer or surfer, so 3 days a week I'm going to the beach, I'm loading up my surf equipment, I'm loading up my golf clubs if I'm a golfer, then a single person having maybe an SUV, that may make sense. Okay, so I'm trying to explain to you when you need certain things, because if I'm single with no kids and no recreational activity, I don't need a Sprinter. I'm not really benefiting from all the seats that the Sprinter has. I'm just wasting the gas. I'm not benefiting from it, okay? The same thing if I was a mom with 5 kids and I go and buy a 2-seater. Well, how are we going to all go to church? How am I dropping these kids off to school? Yes, this new 2-seater may be the bomb.com, but it's not benefiting me. So everything you do in business, it needs to benefit you. And you want to make sure that you're not just doing what you heard, or you're not just doing what your friends do. You want to make sure that you're doing what's benefiting you. Okay? So making that S-corp election too soon, is a problem, because if you're not on payroll, then that's a way to lose your S-corp election. If you are a C-corp, I don't know why you are a C-corp, okay? If you are a C-corp, a C-corp is double taxation, meaning when the business earns money, a C-corp pays a tax, and then when the business pays the shareholders or pays the owner, there's another tax. So C-corps are deemed are known for double taxation. So a C-corp, a reason why you will be a C-corp, there are certain people, there are certain restrictions as to who can own an LLC and how many LLC members that there can be. Okay, so if you're not here, or you're not a U.S. citizen, or you're not a resident, you can't get an LLC, and then you can only have so many members that are an LLC, which is why people will be in a C-corp. Or if you know that my business is going to go public, I am looking for investors. I am looking to, to sell shares of stock. Hold on. Corey Wayne, I know you see me on this live. Out of here right now. Thank you, sir. If you're going to go public, if you're trying to raise stock, maybe you're on Shark Tank and you win, and they may make you to change your structure from being an LLC to being a corporation, so that they can now have shares of stock. Okay, that will be a reason to be a C corp. If it's just you, or you and your wife starting a business, and we're not going public, and we're not about to go issue out shares of stock, then we don't need to be a C corp. So there are benefits and consequences to kind of everything. You just want to pick whatever is best for you in your situation. But if you are a C Corp, you definitely also want to look into being taxed as an S Corp so that you don't have the double taxation, meaning when the business makes money, it pays the tax, and then when the business pays its owner, it pays another tax, okay? So making that S Corp election too soon is another common business mistake. Not knowing the tax deductions for your industry, okay? So when you start building your business, you're in the beginning phase of just getting things started, right? But you're gonna look up and you're gonna really be killing it, okay? You're gonna be killing it and you're gonna be excited, you know, we're making money, you know, the family's happy, we're not stressed, we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul, like life is good, right? Then you're going to walk into your accountant's office and he's going to just slap you, right? You're going to have to gather yourself up off the ground because he's going to hand you this tax return, and you're so used to, depending if you worked, if you have kids, you may have gotten a refund, or, you know, you've been taking these losses. And so, you know, you haven't been paying anything. And then he may hit you with a 5 or 6 figure tax bill. And you're like, what you mean? I gotta pay the IRS? Like, I don't have this money. No. And he's like, yes. This is what you owe to the IRS. Now, you want to make sure that you are going to be a profitable business and you are going to cut a check to the IRS. We just want to cut the check of what's actually due. So let me make sure that all the expenses that I'm really taking, or that I'm already paying, I want to make sure that I'm getting the full credit for all those expenses. Okay. If I'm doing anything big, if I'm getting any kind of equipment, if I'm buying any kind of corporate vehicles, anything that can be depreciated, I want to make sure that I'm getting all of my tax benefits. Okay. So what you want to make sure is that you know and that you understand the tax deductions for your business and your industry, okay? I have tax deduction guides on my website for about 27 industries. If your industry isn't on there, I got one for small businesses. But as the owner, you need to know, okay? Not the CPA know and he come and tell you. You need to know what's going on with your business, because whenever something goes wrong, it's all going to fall on you. Okay, so you need to know what is out there that as to what is the tax deduction that you can benefit from, because you may have to go tell your CPA, hey, are you sure that you got this, and this, and did you get my invoice for when I bought this? Because honey, when I go on my CPA, it's like we have 3 meetings. He gives me that first one, I'm like, this is the draft, okay? I know you didn't see my stack of receipts for boom, boom, boom. And then this broke down and we have, I bought this, and did you do the full depreciation? So we have like a whole, 3 different meets. We go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then he'd be like, girl, stop playing. This is it. Okay. But you want to know what it is that you should be writing off. So knowing what tax deductions your business, qualifies for, so that when you do write the check to the IRS, you're writing what you actually owe. Okay, not just giving away extra money, because no one has extra money to give away. So, making the S-corp election too soon, not knowing all of our tax deductions, thinking that all the money is our money and not putting money aside for taxes, or expenses that are going to just pop up because they're going to just pop up. Another common business mistake is not running your business like a business. Okay. A lot of times, especially when we're first starting out, we hire our friends, we hire our family, and no shame to our friends and family, but in business, it's just business, right? And when we hire our friends and family, or when we just maybe we're hiring a stranger. Hold on. Okay, when people always ask me how much should you be putting aside for taxes, here's the real answer. In the real world, in business, like, your business is not going to make the same amount of money every single month. and your profit won't be the same, even if your business makes the same amount of money every month for this reason. As a business owner, your job is just putting out fires, okay? So the money's coming in, but this month, okay, let's just say I have Joy's Barbecue, right? And Joy's Barbecue makes $20,000 a month, bet. But this month, the barbecue grill ran out. And so I didn't have a warranty, or it was an old grill, so now I got to go out and buy a whole new barbecue grill for the barbecue restaurant, and that's $40,000. Okay, so I'm having to tap into all of my reserves and maybe swipe my credit card to cover this barbecue grill, but I can't make money without the grill. Okay, so then the next month I'm kind of recovering from my barbecue grill coming out. So even though I made 20 grand a month, like maybe I was late on a couple of my personal bills, maybe I'm behind on some things because I had to go into my stash to fix the grill, okay? Then that third month, maybe instead of me doing 20, I just do 15. So by the time I got, through payroll and, my normal bills, I was like just making it even, okay? But then that next month, the Renaissance tour came in town, and Beyonce and the dancers and the staff and the crew came and ate at my barbecue restaurant. And instead of me making $20,000, I made $80,000. That's how business goes. The problem is when I make that $80,000, I'm going to say, whew, it has been so stressful running this business. The barbecue grill went out, and then, I was behind on bills, and, we had to pass up on our vacation because, the barbecue grill went out. So because I got this heavy month, I'm going to treat myself. Let me go to Chanel and get a couple of bags, and then, let's just do a quick little getaway trip to, Miami or Mexico. And, I got to get me some outfits for that. And then, I got to do something for the kids. So we start spending whenever we have that excess cash flow because we're so tired from the everyday rat race that we go and spend the excess cash flow. Okay. And then we get hit with the IRS bill. So every month, you're not going to be able to save the exact same amount because every month in your business is not going to be the same. What you need to understand is what it takes for your business to run. What is that number? Anything over that number, it has to be sitting aside in a pot. A pot's going to be a bank account. Pick a pot. Taxes. Pick a pot. A savings account. So because I made $80,000 this month, but a couple months down the road, something else is going to happen, or the AC at my home is going to go out. So I can't say every month save 15% because you may not be able to save 15% every month. Running a business is not like having a 9-to-5 job where every single week you're getting the same amount of money. You just need to be able to know what is the number it takes for you to break even, and anything over that just needs to be put aside in a pot. Once you start making money, you're going to know you should be having meetings with your CPA. Okay, hey, last year we did 250. We already did 250 this year, and we're only in month 6. So I see us maybe doubling our income. What do I need to do to prepare for this tax bill? He may say, do you need some equipment? Well, I really don't need anything. Do you need to buy some more inventory? Well, I could stock up on paper plates and this. He's going to give you a plan as to what we need to do. Or, hey, baby, if you don't need equipment, you go buy something, okay? Either you're going to cut the check to the IRS or you're going to cut the check to Mercedes-Benz and get you a car. But you're cutting a check. Here are your options. You can go buy equipment. You can go buy you an SUV or a truck over 6,000 pounds. He will be telling you what you need to do. But you got to know your numbers. You got to see, whoa, we are making more money. Let me go sit in that CPA office. Let them know, hey, here's what I have going on. What do I need to do to brace myself or to plan? Okay, so I can't tell you put 15% aside, 20% aside, because taxes is going to be based on your profit. If you're making a $500,000, $1 million, you're already going to be in that 40% tax bracket. So putting aside 15% wasn't going to really do anything. Okay. So that's that. What was I talking about? I was talking about S-corp election too soon. Oh, honey, hiring these friends and family. So hiring friends, family, or just hiring employees and not having an employment contract, not having an employee handbook, not having rules and regulations, not having systems. Okay, so when we get these employees in, they're coming late. They're not really, they're on their phones. They're not really, working how you want them to work. Their customer service may not be how you expected it to be. Employees are coming in with just their own experience, whatever they're accustomed to. Okay, so unless you sit down and you teach someone what your culture is, hey, we answer the phone, hello, welcome to Joy's Barbecue, how can I help you? Versus hello. But if everywhere I go I say hello, I don't know what your culture is. And so when we hire friends, family, or regular employees and we don't have an employee handbook, hey, here's our employee handbook and here are all the rules and regulations. Here's our policy on, on attendance. Here's our policy on being on time. Here's our policy on dress code. Here's how we handle customer complaints. We don't have any of these things. We just starting a business, right? So either our employees are going to be running away the customers. She has a date tonight, so she needs to close up early to go meet her boo because he called her last minute trying to go out. So she done closed the barbecue shop up 30 minutes early, because her boo invited her to go to the movies. Well, you have 5 customers and a party of 10 coming to go celebrate their birthday who drove from Austin, Texas, and they're on Google reviews saying, well, when I got there, the barbecue on the door said closed at 7, but they were closed at 6:30. But now you have all these bad Google reviews about how you done closed down early. You just paid for this barbecue grill 2 months ago, right? You're trying to recoup your money. And so now we have money who drove to your business that can't give you the money because your employee decided to leave early to go see her boo. But now you feel like you can't fire her because she's your best friend. Now we can't fire her because that's your cousin. Now we can't fire her because that's your mama's best friend's sister's, next door neighbor. It's just business. So I always say from experience, it's best to go find you a stranger, someone who doesn't know you. Okay? Because it's going to be easier to cut them. 2, a person who doesn't know you doesn't know where you started from. See, your friend, cousin, or sister and them, y'all probably all grew up together. You probably, they know where you came from. They know your deep, dark secrets, right? And then sometimes when you start to elevate, they kind of looking like, well, why I'm working for you? Or you can afford to pay me more money because you making more money. Well, just because I make more money, why would I pay you more money? Like, the whole reason of me starting the business was to make money. Like, I emptied out my 401k. I emptied out my savings account for this thing to hit. So just because this thing hit, like just because Amazon's making more money, every employee isn't getting a raise. Like, that's not how this works. You get paid X amount of money for doing your job. Now, if you're going to go take on your job and 4 more other people's jobs, okay, you should get paid more, but why would I pay you more? But see, if she worked at Walmart, she don't know the Walmart family. She don't know none of them. So it's a company. So she's going to automatically respect the stranger company because a business is supposed to make money. I'm just glad that I'm getting my check. But see, when she comes to you because she knows you, she's not looking at you like a business. Walmart's making billions of dollars. They're not even about to ask Walmart for a raise. But the second she sees your car change, she sees your house change, she sees your vacations change, well, mine did a change too because, I'm your friend, I'm your cousin, right? And so now we get into all of this and then this dynamic. And the problem is, if it's your best friend, your cousin, if it's family, whatever decision you make is going to be negative repercussions. Either they're going to run the business in the ground if you keep them on staff. If you fire them, now you're going to have, family turmoil. So it just turns into a shit show, okay? So if you are strong enough to be the bitch you need to be and cut people and not worry about all that, you can handle your friends and family. But 9 out of 10 times, go hire you a stranger. Go hire you someone off the street that does not know you or your story or where you came from. They are just happy to have a job. Hire someone that understands policies and procedures, rules and regulations. And when you have all of these things, you have to now enforce them, okay? An employee handbook is a must. Think about all the jobs that you worked at. Whenever I start my businesses, I always go back to, what did I do? Whatever job I had, you're going to sign an employee handbook. You're going to give them you're going to fill out a W-4 form. You're going to give them your social. You're going to give them your ID. You're going to fill some paperwork out. Depending on how big of a job you worked at, there may have actually been an HR department where you actually sat down with the HR manager and they went over all of the policies and procedures. For my businesses, I do all the hiring because I want to make sure that the expectation is set on day one, because we may not be a fit. If we aren't a fit, I want to know on day one that we aren't a fit versus hiring someone, not wanting to step on their toes. And then now we're, 3 months in and you've been having these problems and you already took, a month off to train them. So you got behind on your work and, now she knows, all your corporate information. And it's just on day one, are we a fit? So here's the handbook. Here's what I expect. I start the interview off with, what excuse can I give you as to why I don't have your paycheck on Friday? And they be like, no excuse. Perfect. Well, I believe that everything should be reciprocated. So since I have to have your paycheck to you on time on Friday, I need all of these things done by you. Let's go over the handbook. Okay, so I'm already setting the tone. Okay, if you want to get paid, then you need to do all of this, because employees will come to your job all day, every day, and bleed you and get paid and do nothing. Okay, so if that is who you are, I want to run that person off on, like, oh, girl, it was too much. She was great. Run them off so I ain't even got to cut you a check, right? What are your policies? Employees will steal. They be signed right here that if any inventory is missing, if you are caught of theft, that whatever is stolen is taken out your paycheck. What? Oh, let me go over it again. If you get caught stealing anything, if the drawer is short on your shift, whatever it is short is going to come out of your paycheck. Sign right here. I'm already saying on day one, I'm not the one. So if she came in here because, I'm going to have my boyfriend come over here, whatever she came, whenever she was thinking, I'm already telling her on day one, this is not what it is. So this is a great way to run off the riffraff, right? Here's my attendance policy. On time means 15 minutes early. That means you got to be able to park your car, get in, finish drinking your coffee, put your little last lipstick up, put your purse up, and now be able to be at my front desk for 9 o'clock. Being at work at 9 o'clock is not pulling into the parking lot at 9:05, opening the door in front of the employees. If you're late 3 times, it's going to be an automatic month suspension. Do you understand? If I'm late 3 times, baby, I don't care what it is. I don't care if an alien came out of the sky. You live in this city. You know that there's traffic, so you need to be at work. You need to leave your house accordingly. See, if you tell them up front all your expectations, then you're going to run off the riffraff, and the people who are going to work for you already understand the tone. Oh, this job's not playing. If you go to an Asian beauty supply, you already know if you bought the wrong color, if you brought the wrong inches, you are not about to go get a refund. There is no need to even go in there knucking and bucking, because they're going to say all sales final, right? But you go to LaQuisha's boutique and you're going to want to argue with her and go back and forth and threaten a Google review because, you you bought it, but you took the tag off of it and you done turned up in it and you want to return it because set the expectation, okay? When your employees don't follow it, you have to now enforce the rule. See, a lot of times as an employer, and I'm speaking from experience, we like our employees. You know what I'm saying? We like them. Sometimes our employees be going through stuff. People want to help them out, because, you see them trying. And it's always the ones you help out. Those are the ones that's going to just take that knife and just jab it in you. I'm going to just quit today. Dang, I can't get a 2-week notice. Like, I can't get a 2 notice to kind of find someone to replace you. But no, I found a better job, blah, blah, blah. It's funny, when I paid your rent those 2 months, you was all on board. But, hey, it comes with business. It's just part of the business. But if you try to keep everything as professional as possible, if you try to keep everything just business, when they come to you with their problems or can I get a payday? I learned early, baby, no. Because at Walmart is not doing payday advances, right? Walmart is not paying no one's rent. I was out of order. I'm out of order trying to be, Captain Sable, whatever. I'm out of order because Walmart, I can't go tell my problems to Walmart and they pay my bill. See, I wasn't running it like Walmart. So all the things I be saying, like I'm not throwing shade, like I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not just being funny. I am always speaking from experience, right? I've been there, done that. So I'm trying to, hey y'all, don't go down this path. So make sure that when you hire your employees, you have policies and procedures set in place, and we have enforcement of the policy and procedures. The third thing you want to make sure that you have, so you want to make sure that you have contracts, okay? You got to have a contract for your employees. You got to have a contract for your customers or some kind of procedure. So if you have, if you're selling a product or a service, if they don't like it, what are their options? Is it all sales final? Is it they can exchange it if it's still, in the same packaging? Is it they can exchange it, whatever? Is it they have 30 days to return it? Like what is the policy? Whatever you want your policy to be, that's fine. But you need to have a policy. It needs to be somewhere posted up, either if you have a brick and mortar in your business. If you sell something online, it needs to be, where they're checking out. They need to, if it's online, they need to be able to have to X a box that says, I understand the policy. So if I'm an online boutique, I can't make money if I sell you an outfit. You go to the Beyonce show, it's outside, you in Miami last night, you sweating all up in it, right? And then you gonna go return it, say, it didn't fit because, the customer just decided to spend more money than she could afford. And after after Beyonce left town, then she didn't realize all these bills were due. So now when you receive it, it's all sweated out, stretched out stains, but she's still knucking and bucking. We're talking about she wants her money back. You can't go resell this because it's the fool. So basically what the customer is saying is that they want you to take the loss, not them take the loss, right? It really wouldn't even be a loss if the customer just wouldn't have bought the outfit. But you in business, you will see that there are customers out here that have unrealistic expectations, okay? They have unrealistic expectations. And if you are a smaller business or a minority-owned business, they don't treat you the same as they would treat a big box business or, a Fortune 500 company. So if I'm selling a boutique, I'm probably going to have all my sales are final, because once you get your clothing, I don't want you to put the clothing on. I'm not even going to talk about COVID. I don't know, is your house clean? I don't know what you have going on, but I don't want to now start receiving all these things back. So I may have an all sales final policy. I need to make sure that in that checkout that the client has to click on that. Okay? Because you can have it on there, you can tell them, you can email them, but what's going to happen is she going to buy an outfit. It's going to be either too small, too big, whatever. She can't afford it once she gets it. She going to call her bank and do a chargeback all day, every day. Fraud. I didn't order that. Girl, you know. Girl, stop playing. You didn't order 10 things. So someone did fraud and just and placed 10 different orders. Like, stop playing. But that's what they're going to do. They are going to do a chargeback, right? So now when you're dealing with chargebacks and you're dealing with the banks, all you can do is submit information into a portal. You're not going to be able to talk to nobody. You can't send no one at their bank a video message. You can't, tell about the conversation that you had told her in person or you emailed her. None of that is going to be able to be submitted, okay? They're going to have you upload PDF documents or screenshots. And once they get those screenshots, PDFs, whatever you submit, the client's bank will review it and decide whether or not you're honest about what happened or if they believe what their client is. Okay, so if you have a all sales final policy, that needs to be checked. Then it needs to have a box where they check it so that you can screenshot your checkout screen and then submit that for the chargeback. If you have any kind of communication with the customer, like going back and forth, I would have no communication on the phone. Everything needs to be via email because email is another thing that we can submit in chargeback. So, hey, I've already stated to you that, online it states that, all sales are final, blah, 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 blah. So you can submit all of that online. If you sell digital products, baby, people will put the wrong email address in, not get the digital product, and do a chargeback. They'll purchase it, put the wrong email address in, not get it, and do a chargeback all within 30 minutes, right? They're going to do that at night. Then the morning, they're going to call you to make, hey, I didn't get it. Well, baby, you said gmail.com, not gmail.com. Oh, my bad. Boom, boom. And then the next day, you're going to have a chargeback, right? So you want to make sure that whatever are your policies, whatever are your return policies, whatever are the terms and conditions of your product or your service, that it is in writing and it is checked. Or if you deal with clients face to face, they are signing off on the policy. I understand that if you're doing website design, hey, what are you giving? I'm going to give you a skeleton of the website, and we're going to be able to do 3 revisions, 5 calling